Everybody, Plushy here, and I just want to do a very short tutorial on this current challenge quest because it is pretty daunting. A lot of people are having trouble with it, and I have not fully understand all the details because the description of the hints are purposefully left a little bit ambiguous, but I'll try to explain it to the best of my abilities. So as you can see here, you have a purple status on all your characters. So this is Britomart. And these are called weak points. And the whole goal of the fight is to protect them from being purged. How do you do that? The way you do that is to have a defensive buff on your characters. And that does not count hard defense, like invul and solemn defense, those don't count. However, defense ups and damage cuts count. So I highly recommend bringing characters that are able to apply these statuses. So as you can see here, I used Mash's skill and I used Draco's damage cut skill as well. So we're going to attack this turn with Draco and Castoria. As you can see here, at the end of the turn, you got a barricade buff on all the characters, which is the debuff resistance icon. And those will prevent you from getting your status purged. What happens when your status gets purged is that your character gets permanently card locked, so that character would no longer be able to use their face cards to attack, but at the same time they can still use their skills and MP. Britomart also has this exact same gimmick like us, so you are going to try to remove her status, her weak point status. Obviously she's not going to immediately die if you remove her weak point status, but if she doesn't have any weak point statuses on herself, she's going to take massive amounts of damage. She's going to deal like 1 million damage to herself after losing it every single turn. But Britomart's weak point also follows our rule, which is you can't touch it as long as she has a defensive buff on her. And you can see here is a unremovable 2-hit damage cut. So you will not be able to remove this status before you remove the damage cut first. So how do you remove this status? Here's how you do that. So as you can see here, Mash, if you remember, did not attack last turn. And she got a weird magic wand icon buff, which is called the power charge. What this power charge is a one-time 2-turn buff that when the character has this buff and they attack Britomart, they can remove the weak point status. However, they made it a little bit more convoluted. So it's 2 turns 1 time. So if you save it and then you don't attack with the character again, she will get another stack of that. So actually, let's do it right now and show that. So I didn't pick Mash's card again. And I also removed her damage cut with Castoria. All of our characters still have defensive buff. All of us have the barricade, so we're safe right now. And Mash got another hit of the supercharge hit. So now she has one of them, which is 1 turn left 1 time, and the other is 2 turns left 1 time. So if you only have one of these statuses, the chance to remove Britomart's weakness status point, which is the diamond-shaped, purple diamond shape, is not 100%. So it is ideal for you to save up for another turn to have another stack of this status that will guarantee to remove one of her statuses. It's very complicated. I apologize if I don't make it very clear, so I'm going to try to demonstrate it visually as well. So what's going to happen, now Britomart doesn't have any damage cuts. Also, Mash has 2 stacks of this power hit buff on herself. When I attack her with any of Mash's card, it is supposed to remove her status. So let's see what happens here. Also, when Britomart's MPs, she doesn't actually MP. She summons a random character, which can be a selection of Babbage, Mecha Liz, Odysseus, which is exceptionally bad, and I think there are more choices that can pop up. Yeah, Tametomo. So be careful of that. So I'm going to reapply the defense up, so I still get the barricade buff, and let's do this. So Mash's MP is going to give us a defense buff, and also her Buster attack afterwards is going to remove her weak point status, and she's supposed to start taking damage after that. So see, there you go. There, we remove that. And she took some damage. And here comes Mechaliz. She also summons characters that are able to remove your defensive buffs to try to screw with your barricade, which is kind of annoying. So also, whenever she attacks with the MP, she reapplies her damage cut. So as you can see here, she got weakened. And let's just try to take her down when she's weak. Also, she is supposed to take some extra damage whenever, every single turn when she doesn't have any of these weak point statuses on her. Okay, you can see here the damage is not nearly enough to kill her, but she's going to take a lot of damage. See, she took like 2 million damage just because she doesn't have the status anymore. So you don't really need to bring a character that has a lot of DPS. All you need to do is keep up your own defensive buffs and try to kill her with a power charge and not attack with certain characters to save up their power charge. That's the whole gist of the fight. So I'm going to let this fight play out and try to defeat her not with raw damage. And the reason why I suggest bringing a character with a damaging MP is that it's very often that inevitably you run into a situation where your character doesn't get to move with their cards anymore. However, you can still accumulate the charged hit status as well as remove her weakness points with a damaging MP. That only works with a damaging MP. So after a grueling process, we have finally gotten to this point. So as you can see here, Britomart has only 1 hit worth of damage cut, and Draco has 2 stacks of power hits. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack once with a random character to break her damage cut, and then we're going to use Draco's attack to purge her final stack of weak points. And we're not even going to use her MP, just to demonstrate that we don't really need to use the MP here for that. So as you can see here, we purged that the final purple status, and Britomart is supposed to start taking a lot of damage. Look at it, she took just 1 million damage right there. And yeah, and unfortunately we're going to have to eat another MP here. And whenever she MPs, she will refresh her damage cuts on the next turn, so do beware of that. You would have to sort of decide when to go all out to remove her damage cuts and when to like not attack her too much so she doesn't refresh all the hits back after she MPs. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but basically we have already won. We don't really need to do any damage. Let's just do whatever. Britomart will kill herself because she has lost all of her weak point statuses on her. As you can see here, there, we already won. She killed herself. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I know this is a complicated CQ, and I hope you guys. I hope this is at least a little bit helpful because I kind of scrambled together to make it as fast as possible. But yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one.